What is up, YouTube? So today what we're gonna do is go over some handgun lights and of course go over the lumens, all the specs and all that good stuff, and as well as how much they cost and what is going to benefit you based on your needs and what you should spend your money on. Okay, so let's go over these lights from left to right. um, the left is going to have your highest lumen output, and then the right is going to have the lowest lumen output. So let's get into this video, work our way up from lowest lumen to highest lumen output, and see which is beneficial to you. Okay, so let's go over the price first. Okay, so for the Surefire XC1, you're looking at around $158 to $418. And the reason for that is because they come in a few different sizes. So this is anywhere from 200 lumens to 300 lumens. And then you have an option to run a laser or buy a laser that is embedded into the frame itself. So there's a laser option. Okay, you have the PL Mini, the Valkyrie PL Mini. And this one's going to run you about that. Right now it's about the $69, $79, $79 range, depending on where you buy it and depending on the deal you get, because the new PL Mini 2 came out, which is this one. Okay, and this one's going to run you in that $79, $89 range, depending on what color you get. And then you have the larger Olight Valkyrie. These three are Olights. And this is the PL2. Okay, so this is going to be your $100 range, $99, $89 range. Some of the common things that you see in these lights is the lumen output, and that's what most of us look at in a light, as well as throw. Okay, so for the Surefire XC1, this is a 200 lumen output. You could get it in 300, and you can also get it with the laser. Okay, so it says Surefire right here. It says XC1. You have your momentary on and off buttons. So you push down, and as you can see, it goes on and off by pushing it. Same thing, it's ambidextrous, so you do the same for the other side, on and off. And then you also have this little slide button here that will give you a constant on light output. Okay, it's a white light, so you're gonna have that you won't have that tint to it. It's just gonna be a straight white light. This runs on one AAA battery, and it's not rechargeable unless you buy the rechargeable AAAs. All the specs, I will have an image of it or link in the description below, so that way you could read them. So I'm not going over too many of the specs. Okay. The Olight Valkyrie PL Mini, the first edition. This one you're looking at 400 lumen output, 75 meter throw, and a 71 minute runtime, IPX6 rating. So all these are water resistant. Okay, so as you can see, 400 lumens makes a big difference. It is cool because it has a quick release, quick disconnect right here. Okay, so it latches over and it's spring loaded. So that's a nice feature to have. It's nice and compact and real sleek. As you can see, the branding's real minimal on it. Momentary on and off. Okay, and then if you depress it, you could also click it and it'll stay on. If you hold it down for a period of time, it becomes momentary. But if you click it once, it becomes full on, and you get constant. It has these little rubber feet on the back side. So if you look right here, you could see the little rubber feet smushing out. That's to keep it quiet. The cool thing about this light, if I would put this on a larger gun, only because the frame is a lot larger but still compact. Maybe you could get away with the subcompact on this light, but like I said, the shield, this would be a little bit too big for. You also have the option to recharge it, so you can put this on your bedside and then just clip it in and it'll start charging right away. This will turn green, and when, say, you hear a bump in the night, you could just pull off and it'll release it without you having to try to unplug it or damage your cord. It's all magnetic, and it allows it also to swivel. So this is pretty cool to have this light, especially at the price point. This one came down because the PL Mini 2 is now available, and it's about $10 cheaper. Okay, so I got the PL Mini 2 here. Same thing with the magnetic part of it, so it swivels, as you can see. Same concept, but this one's going to put out 600 lumens of light at a 100-meter throw. It too also has a quick disconnect. It has a larger lens than the original one, so as you can see, a lot larger, but it does throw more light. Okay, the cool thing about this, and the reason why I picked this one up, is because of this new option. This light will fit a whole bunch of weapons. As it mounts, you could actually slide it back and forth on this rail system. Okay, so this rail system allows you to place the light anywhere on the weapon and find the right spot, so that way these go all the way back and this pushes into the trigger guard, and then as soon as you lock it down, it locks it down for moving. That's why I bought this light. Also on here you have a little indicator to tell you when you need to charge your battery. Yeah, some branding of course on both sides, but when that thing's green, you know it's charged. When it turns red, you know you need to charge it. This one has it right here as well for the original Olight, but I've never actually seen that work. Maybe I just haven't used it enough because I haven't had it on a gun. Okay, same thing with this one. It has the little bumpers on the backside. You push down, long press, so you depress it for a long period of time and it's momentary. Okay, press it once real fast and it will stay active. So as you could see, that's a lot of light output in a small package. Okay, but compared the two side by side, this one's still sleeker. This one's shorter, but it's not as sleek. So you have to also take into consideration that they did increase the bezel size, probably so that way it gets more lumen output and a better throw. Okay, so this one's a 1200 lumen PL2 Valkyrie weapon light. This one's 71.5 minutes of runtime, 235 meter throw with the IPX6, of course. This thing's a beast, but it's also a lot larger than all these. Like, look at the difference. I mean, do you really want something this big on the end of your gun? I don't know. Maybe you do, but I know I don't. So I'm going to use this for a rifle, so that way, for instance, if you have a shotgun or a rifle, you could put this on the Picatinny rail and depress it this way. Okay, so that way you have a light that's up there as well, and you could use it as a thumb switch. It doesn't have to be mounted to a handgun. Okay, and that's why I picked this one up too. Also, I wanted to use it as a handheld, so I'm going to get a rail system that will clip into here because it's quick disconnect as well. Okay, and I'm going to put a belt clip on it so that way I could pocket this light, because the ergonomics behind it are pretty nice to actually just use it as a handheld. You know, just actuate it with your thumb, and it's 1200 lumens. Large bezel, does have some cutouts here I mean, I don't think it's going to be enough to be a defense light, but it is what it is. It's a nice light. The cool thing about this one is you have this little flip up lid right here that allows you to take out the batteries, and they do run two CR123s in them. Okay, and it has the direction of the light, the way it's supposed to go, and then of course you push it all the way down to clip it. You got to pull back on this lever. Okay, push it all the way down and then clip it back in, and now you're ready to rock and roll. This is not rechargeable unless you buy the rechargeable batteries, but if you buy the rechargeable batteries, you need a charger to charge them. There's no plug for this, okay? Or no plug-in area. Of course, you press it once and the light comes on, okay? Typical. You press it for a long time, let it go, press it for a long time, let it go, and it's momentary. Same thing with the other side. Okay, so let's start off with the light output and see what they look like. Okay, so we'll turn on the Surefire. Okay, so you have a hot spot and you have some throw around it. Nothing crazy, as you could tell. It's not illuminating too much. Of course, this is the 200 lumen one in its defense. Okay, now next to it we're going to have the PL Mini, the first edition. So you could tell right off the bat the hot spot is a lot larger. The PL Mini is on the left, a lot more concentrated, and then you have an overspill that's a lot larger. Okay, so comparison, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, now we have the PL Mini 2. We'll turn that on, and as you could tell, it's a lot brighter. You could see the hot spot is way more concentrated on the left. All these are white lights, so you're not getting no yellow tint. That's just the hot spot being a lot brighter. So that's what it looks like. This is the PL Mini. This is the PL Mini 2. Okay, so you could tell the difference. And then now you got the 1200 lumen Valkyrie. Okay, let me turn that on. You could see the hot spot is more concentrated and a lot brighter. The lumens in the center, you have an overspill or a flood. I'd have to say the PL Mini 2 has more of a flood at the distance I'm shining it at, and it's a lot brighter, the flood, but the throw is going to be different. That's where you're going to have your differences, is in the throw and that hot spot. Okay, so let's see all of them side by side, and you can see the throw on each one. I mean, for the most part, they look pretty even here, except for this one. But I mean, they're marginally increased in lumens as far as these two are concerned, 400 to 600, and then 600 to 1200. But most of your lumen output, I think, is getting thrown out by that hot spot. As you can see, it's defined over here versus these ones. So one other thing that this Valkyrie has, is the large PL2, is if you grab both of the on and off switches, push them together, it becomes a strobe. So as you can see, it strobes out, push them both together, and they turn off. So that's a cool feature that the other ones did not have, or at least I don't know how to activate them if they do. But I don't think they have it. So this is also another reason why I'm considering carrying this one with the belt clip and everything, because you have that option to throw that strobe out there. Okay, so my final thoughts on all this. depends on what your use is. The light that I like the most for a handgun is going to be the Olight PL Mini 2. Not because it's the newest, but because it has a good light output, and it's a small compact size, and the adjustability, how versatile this is on multiple weapons. So if you only had a choice to purchase one weapon light, and you wanted it to fit on all your guns, this one is going to fill in most of those needs, only because it's modular and it could slide back and forth. Okay. Saying that and keeping that into consideration, this has a lot of lumen output. So indoors, this may be an issue. Okay. 600 lumens is a lot, especially on white walls. So if you hit a white wall with this light, you may get blinded by it because you're waking up early in the morning, you hit this on, you greet it with that bright white light. As you can see, it's going to reflect right into your eyes, and that may be a problem. And that's why I think Surefire has a lower lumen output, because they understand that concern. They understand that a lower lumen output on a white wall will not affect your eyes and dilate them and stuff like that when you get hit with it, especially early in the morning. And it doesn't disorient you, but it's enough lumen to identify whatever it is you're shining it towards. A handheld light is also recommended, because you don't want to be pointing your weapon at everything. So I highly recommend this. This is what I'm going to run. If you're concerned about that high lumen output, I would recommend this one. And Surefire has a great backing. They're awesome lights. Olight, I've been happy with them because they're innovative in their design. Everything's innovation with them, and I think that's awesome because they don't just copy. They set a bar, or they set their standard and they go with it. I mean, the adjustability of this light is insane, and how compact they are, and the fact that they have not wireless charging, but magnetic charging available. It's like Surefire should do that. It's a good option, because when you actually need the light, you're not going to sit here and dick around with the battery, take out the AAA battery, put a new one in. It's like this, you just plug and go. Yeah, you can't replace these batteries. They're locked in the housing. Yeah, you could probably take it off, find something similar and fix it. But at that point, what's your life worth? You got to figure it that way. Just buy a new light if you think your battery's almost up. If you're trying to find a weapon light for a gun, like a long gun, I recommend the Olight Valkyrie PL2, because you can mount it on the quad rail like this, and then use your thumb to depress the buttons and stuff. And then also it's a modular light, so you could handhold this, and it would suffice for that as well. So if you also have, like, say 1911 or something, I would go with something like this, because it has the rail length for it, and it's still compact, and you still get a high lumen output. I wouldn't recommend this light for a longer rail system, because I wouldn't want to have to do this, okay, or this. I wouldn't want to see that. But if you only had one light, this would be a good choice, because it's modular for those situations. Okay, so a few things to consider is lumen output, what you're looking for. Okay, and that's going to identify which light you should be leaning towards right away. But also gun. So your gun, how it fits on your weapon, or how it's going to look on your weapon, and where the system's going to be as far as these buttons are concerned, where they're going to end up. So those are the things you want to consider before buying these lights, and then look into the ergonomics behind it. So that's going to complete today's video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. If you want to see content like this and other content I'll be posting in the future, definitely consider subscribing. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next one.